Welcome back to the second part of my Last Guardian special on that one bullshit PlayStation trophy. And if you saw the first part, you'd realise that this game doesn't just have one bullshit trophy. Oh no, it actually has got 3 bullshit trophies that need to burn in trophy hell, in my opinion. Now, last week's episode I looked at the Hints trophy, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the next bullshit trophy, Intensive Care, which requires you to remove all the spears from TRICO during fights. So certain fights have these guards that will throw spears and they can hit and impale TRICO, and the aim of the trophy is to remove them as quickly as possible. So you do this by climbing onto TRICO's back and trying to move over to him and pull the spear out with circle as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible when TRICO is flailing around. Fucking hell. When there's one spear in him, it's not so bad, but in later fights when more go into him, trying to do this as quickly as possible is quite tough. And just what exactly is as quickly as possible anyway? The trophy is just so fucking vague. And sure, not every fight has these enemies with spears, so most encounters you can get away with not having to worry, and there are certain situations in the game, if you use the mirror correctly, that you can kill the guards before you even get up to them. There's at least 2 occasions where you can avoid 2 fights like this, so it's definitely worth trying to do that, just to save you the hassle of those encounters. However, those fights against the enemies with spears just become a nerve-wracking and stressful encounter, and whenever you see one about to throw them, you'll end up being like this.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So when disaster strikes and TRICO eventually inevitably gets hit by a spear, you want to make sure you're on his back so you can climb over to it as quickly as possible. But you will have to fight against TRICO himself, who's probably flailing around fighting the guards, making it hard to get over there and actually grab it. And that's one of the most frustrating things, when you see a spear but you can't quite get to it quick enough. Once you have removed it, you're then just left with one question that you'll ask yourself: was I fast enough there? And the truth is, you'll never really know. So once the battle has been finished, you'll then probably, if you're like me, spend another 10 minutes just constantly climbing around TRICO, searching for another spear, just to be 100% sure that another spear didn't hit him that I didn't see during the fight. And I would just do laps of TRICO's entire body, and yes, that included going past his arsehole a lot, as I noticed his butt would usually get one in him at some point, and it's one that I would probably easily miss because he usually sits down after a fight. So around and around I would go, awkwardly trying to climb around him just to make sure the remove spear prompt doesn't come up, because the worst thing to happen here is that you complete a fight and you move on to the next area and then you notice a spear sticking in him, because sometimes a full spear can stay in him, but when TRICO moves around they often snap off, so you'll only have a little nub of the spear in him, which makes it hard to see on the grey fur. In some of the battles, you can actually prevent the guards from even picking the spears up by pressing square as you're running to sort of roll into them. However, because of the game's wonky controls, camera and animations and physics, this isn't always a viable option, and you'll probably end up not even knocking the spear over, and instead you'll just get picked up by another guard, and then you're just fucked. Most battles will usually take you a few attempts. You'll definitely have to restart the checkpoint and back up your saves here. Otherwise, you're going to find you're getting fucked over by a rogue spear. But again, once you've completed that fight, you'll then want to scan TRICO, check his entire body all over just to make sure there's no other spears before moving on to the next area and making your backup save. The Colosseum fight was also really frustrating and a bit bullshit, and after many restarts I noticed that you can get those first 2 guards to throw their spears down if you run near them before TRICO comes down. Then it's a case of trying to get that guy with the mirror to drop it by barging into him, and then just stopping the other guy from throwing his spear. But again, like I said, with the dodgy controls, the way the animations are, and it fucks up your movement, and then the camera itself, it can be quite awkward to do this sort of thing. After all, this clip you're seeing right now is probably my 5th or 6th attempt at this fight, which meant lots of reloads. Also, TRICO doesn't always be super aggressive and get into a fight as quick as that. And sometimes you can just be standing there just cluelessly, aimlessly looking at them before he actually swipes them, which can be really annoying. But again, once you do get through that fight, you want to check his body again. I can't stress how much that's important to do it. So other fights, like I say, don't always have a lot of spears in them, but you want to make sure that you're always looking around at him, and as soon as you hear one going to him, you really do want to just jump on him and try and get it out as quick as possible, because like I say, the bullshit thing about this is we're not really sure what the requirement is, how fast you have to be, and when you actually have to remove the spear. That's one of the frustrating things. Another area that fucked me over the first time I went for this trophy was the bad TRICO fight, where the two of them go at it with each other, because when playing it I just naturally wanted to help TRICO out by moving all the things over and crushing the other one with the cart. But actually, when you do fall down to the bottom, the spears that are in TRICO get snapped off, which avoids you getting the trophy. So you need to make sure you stay at the top and wait for the guards to empty about 9 spears in him each before you move on, which is just bullshit, because no one's going to really do that naturally anyway, and it takes them so fucking long that it's just a fucking ball ache waiting for it to happen. So the rest of the fights after that aren't too bad, and it's only when you get to the tower at the end of the game that you have the biggest 2 fights that you'll have, because as soon as you land on this tower, you're instantly surrounded by a shitload of guards, and there are loads of guards on the foot with spears, and there are also several in these towers that will just be lobbing countless amounts of spears onto him. So my initial tactic when going for this was to use the mirror and try and blow up the balconies as fast as possible, but this meant that TRICO had like 3 or 4 spears in him already, so you're better off just staying on his back and trying to remove them all as fast as possible. This battle will then take probably 10 minutes or so as you're slowly doing this, because eventually they will run out. Your final big fight is then inside the tower before you get to the top. Again, it's the same sort of thing. You want to stay on his back really and get them all removed. Then as the fight goes on, you'll eventually be able to jump off and just take out guards that you can on foot. But again, it's very frustrating, and you'll never really know if you've done it quick enough or not. Worse still, the trophy doesn't pop as soon as that last fight's over, even though you'll never have another fight. So you have to carry on playing the game and finishing it in order to unlock it on the very end, the end screen. And I had to go for this trophy 3 times before I got it, because I obviously wasn't doing something right, but it was never really telling me. And I think the one big thing that I did wrong was the TRICO fight, where I just carried on doing it and didn't remove them all until they all ran out. So it's just a frustrating experience to try and do this, and really stressful, because there's no indication that you've done it right. I also cleaned up all the blood off TRICO every time the fight ended, so he was always clean, and I'm not even sure if that helps, but for having a vague trophy description, awkward controls in the camera to try and remove them, spears that break off making them harder to see, areas where TRICO will automatically move on to the next area after a battle, also help to make this a really bullshit trophy. And to be honest, this was really stressful going for this, because I really didn't know if I was going to actually unlock it. Even on the attempt where I did get it, once I saw the credits roll, I still didn't think I was going to get it, because I still didn't think that very first spear that you saw hit him in this video, I didn't think I got that removed quick enough. But I reckon you've probably got about 30 seconds to get rid of a spear as soon as it hits him. But that's just a guess, and because it being so vague, that is why the trophy gets a bullshit trophy rating of
bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
Bullshit! You said so bullshit!
Oh shit!
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 Shit! Shit! Shit!